conference has been wonderful. It's been daunting, it's been exciting, it's been fast-paced, but the content has been wonderful. The networking has been great.
I've learned a lot, and it's been really nice to spend time with other archivists in similar positions.
Feeling and the energy in the room was so positive, and it just felt good to be with everybody that first day of the conference.
I think that I would describe it as a vital professional experience for anyone working with religious congregations.
There's nothing that really is the equivalent of being able to attend a conference in person.
So you're the guardians, the preservers of our deep story, the consciousness that's run through history and brought about all the changes that we've been part of. I was thinking, in today's terms, you're kind of preserving our congregation's DNA.
But I always do a little bit of elevator pitch to them and say, you know, this is essential so you can have the past preach to the future. With the historical record, that's possible. And you can lift things that give weight to the holy preaching.
The grief comes in waves, as does the peace. We are reminded of the 14th century mystic Julian of Norwich, who lived during a terrible plague in that century. And she wrote, "All shall be well, and all shall be well, and every manner of thing shall be well." And then we recall the words of T.S. Eliot, who said, "What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from." And a Dominican sister, she is a weaver. And another sister, she said, "We are still living, the cloth is still on the loom."
I'm very invigorated always by what my colleagues are doing at their schools, and we get ideas from each other, and we use information from each other to do either presentations or or reports or little pop-up exhibits maybe or something. It really keeps you fresh. It keeps it sort of keeps you with sort of a youthful energy when you have people that you can collaborate with.
In short, if I had to summarize what I've learned about archives, is that it's crucial to have a professional archivist or someone trained in managing archives. Work closely with the archivist with the time you have, even if changes can only be implemented a bit at a time. Provide opportunities for the entire leadership team to engage in learning more about the work of the archivist. Encourage the archivist to do presentations to the sisters and associates occasionally in order to increase interest among the sisters about the content and their own contributions to it. There are so many wonderful and inspiring stories to tell and to hear. Finally, rely on the expertise and experience of congregational leaders who've already made decisions about the long-term care and preservation of their archives, and rely on the expertise and experience of your archivist.
When I first came into leadership, I didn't know anything about the archives other than the history and records that were kept there. I didn't really pay any attention since I was not responsible for gathering and storing the materials. I did not realize that leadership is ultimately responsible for the archives.
And so I have some suggestions for congregational leaders regarding archives. And I know that I'm speaking to the choir for the leaders who are here. So I hope you will take these suggestions back to your leadership who are not here. First, a deep appreciation of your congregational history and stories, and a real desire to savor and to cherish it all. It's true that leaders have a lot on their plates, but I think that archives need to be respected and held up. If you, as archivists, don't feel that is the case, then make the case with your leadership. Second, leaders need to have great respect for the archivists themselves, taking the initiative for regular communication and desire to understand their work, both the joys and the pains. If your leaders do not take that initiative, then I suggest you take the initiative for good communication. Remember the persistent woman in the gospel. Don't settle for less. Third, in our congregation, we have a core staff beyond the leadership team, consisting of our directors of finance, investments, communication, development, IT, and our archives. In some small way, all of our staff were in communication and kept us to date on various activities. If you don't feel included in the ongoing operation of your congregation, seek to be. And fourth, leaders should express honest gratitude for the archivists and for the collections you care for, the research you do, the answers you find, and the mysteries you untangle. Archivists are important resources for leadership and deserve our thanks.